Hey guys, Jazz back with another video. In this video, we're just going to go over a few of my pickups. I'm not going to try to hold you too much. I'm just going to go over reasons why I picked certain cards up and just like I just feel like they're undervalued and how they're undervalued and just how I go about the process of finding out what card is undervalued or overvalued. And also to show you to be careful what you're buying, because I did make two mistakes when buying some of these cards. Two cards that I didn't actually know exactly what I was buying when I bought them. I put a lot of bids out there, and I bid on a lot of stuff, and sometimes I don't look at the whole listing completely, or I think I saw it and I'm trying to go off memory since I'm going on, bidding on so many things at nighttime, that I make a few mistakes. Obviously, usually I tend to underbid, so I don't win a lot of auctions, but I do bid on a lot of auctions. But yeah, we're gonna go over. I'm basically tell you the price I paid for pretty much every card on here, and then we're just gonna go over certain deals and see why I believe it's a really good deal, the card that I bought, and then obviously discuss the two mistakes that I made. First and foremost, we're gonna start with a Sekou Doumbouya. I know I get criticized while you're picking up Sekou. His stuff is cheap. This is numbered to 149. I think I paid $6.50 for it. Easy pickup for me. This is my second lottery. This is from Regular Contenders. This is the lottery ticket. This is numbered to 25. I actually have this in a PSA 10 already. This looks like a pretty clean copy, so most likely I'll send this off to Grady. I think this is 8 of 25, and I think my PSA 10 is a 9 of 25. So looking for the 10 of 25 because that is the jersey number, but beautiful looking card. The crack ice effect. So obviously going to pick that up. This is Joe Burrow. Oh yeah, this was $40 by the way. The lottery ticket, I picked it up for $40. That's a number to 25. This is the Joe Burrow Black. I think is really well centered. This is a great grading candidate, but I don't know if I am going to send this off to SGC. That's the only one that I can send it off to right now, and I'm debating whether to. I probably would have it be. I just don't know if I'm pretty sure this, if it starts from here to here, this card is extremely well centered. It's centered all across the board. So yeah, I don't know. I'll probably just sell it raw as the season approaches. I think I paid $116 for this. I just thought the silver prism, it is prism black, which is like the first year prism black, so I don't know if it'll hold that much value long term. But it is, the regular silver sells for a lot of money, so the prism black, I don't think it sells for as much, but it's just basically the same card. So yeah, talk about Sekou. Here's another Sekou. This one I picked it up for $34. The Clearly Donruss, I don't have much Clearly Donruss, but again, since it was in the Panini, this is a redemption from Panini, so card has been locked away pretty safe, even though sometimes they have, issues regardless, even if they're in this, but it's in a one-touch. I'll probably look to move this in a one-touch. And again, I pick up guys like this because I just think their stuff is just really cheap for what, the potential that they have. And again, when the start of the season, this stuff is going to go up in value. Like, it's too cheap not to. My only football pickup, now we're going to get to the greatest stuff. This is the only football pickup I've had. I'm basically selling football. And Drew Lock, I'm still picking up because, again, he hasn't been named the starter. Picked this up for $40. PSA 10, field level, $40. Again, he's named the starter. This is like a $200 card. In my opinion, if he gets named the starter for the beginning of the season, this will be close to a $200 card. So it's easy pickups for me whenever I can find cheap Drew Lock stuff. But again, there's no guarantee that he will be named the starter. So, but again, I have a shit ton. I was going to do a video with all my football stuff. I have like 40 slabs of Drew Lock, like 60 slabs of but I already started selling some of the stuff, like especially my Daniel Jones. I already started moving some of my Daniel Jones, so I just scrapped the video. I'm not going to do the video, but yeah, I have a lot of football, like 150 slabs probably for football that I'm looking to sell in the next month. Moving off of most of my football, and again, this is the cycle, rinse and repeat. Brandon Clark, again, this is real cheap. I think I picked this up $32 for a courtside PSA 10. Again, it's gonna probably be more than 32, probably be around $30 to $40 just to get a card graded as a PSA 10 courtside. I mean, easy pickup in my opinion. Anytime you get a courtside PSA 10 of any type of potential. This is a PSA 9 Tyler Hero. Picked this one up for $36. To me, easy pickup, courtside, hype player. He might get traded. His stuff might go up. Again, same thing with this Tyler Hero. Picked this one up for $103. That's the cheapest any of these has sold. These were going for like $200-$300. But the seller, I believe, didn't put the O. They put Tyler Her Then they put the O. So I think a lot of people weren't looking at this card, and I was able to get it for cheaper. Then after that, some started going cheap. Not as cheap as this one. I got this one for 103, but some started going like low hundreds. But before that, they were all over around $200-300. But again, once this one sold with the O, it went down to like one something, and the rest of them started going down in price as well. But not as cheap as this one. Got it for 103. And again, as the season approaches, he might get traded as well. His stuff might go up a lot. So, stuff is so cheap that it's got to go up. And this is one of the first discussion cards we're going to have. Picked this up for $136. Why I picked it up for $136? The PSA 10 goes for almost $300. I think it's like $280. So if the PSA 10 is $280 and I'm getting it for less than 50%, I think it's just great value. I think I think SGCs should be somewhere around 70, especially for hype players, like 70 to 80% you can get off. And whenever you can find rarish cards, now base cards I wouldn't do this on, but rare cards, I would try to get those 40% off PSA 10s, 50%, and then wait for the season start. And when these cards are rare and they're not up there as much, and plus, as the season approaches, the price is going to go up anyway, and you can get a better percentage. Instead of being 40%, when I'm 50% of a PSA 10, maybe I could sell it for 70% of a PSA 10. And the price is already, the PSA 10 goes up to like 500. Now I'm selling for 70% of 500. I'm going to make a lot of money. That's my theory with the SGC cards. I try to see good value. So if I'm getting it for less than 50% of a PSA 10, I'm going to take it anytime, any day of the week, especially, a color variation. I think that's just an easy pickup in my opinion. Same thing with this Luka Optic 9.5. This I got for $132. PSA 9 goes for over $150. So a PSA 9 sells for more than this, and I think this is a really clean copy. It's a little bit off top to bottom, left to right is good. I think everything else checks off. I think that's what broke it down to 9.5 is a little bit off. This probably would be a crack out candidate for try to get a PSA 10, to be honest with you. But again, I hold this. I think the value, this should be going for more than a PSA 9, slightly. But again, as the PSA 9 rises, this one will rise as well. And this one, in my opinion, should be selling for more than a PSA 9. So easy pickup because I think I got it undervalued. Same thing with this one. I got a Donovan Mitchell Optic out of 199. This one is 170 out of 199. SGC 10. I picked this up for $332. After this, a PSA 9 went for $275. So again, I paid only $50 more to get an SGC 10 rather than a PSA 9. I think that's just a deal. I think the last PSA 10s that I used did around $700. So again, I'm getting it for $332. I think it's just, the bargain is just there. And again, these are rare cards you won't see on eBay every single day. So again, if there's like a listed of a PSA 10 for like $1,500 and I post mine up for $600-700, and somebody's like, well, that's just a great deal, and they'll just pick it up. That's because the rarity. When you're talking about like base prism PSA 10s and SGC 10s, you're not going to see that because there's always going to be PSA 10 base prisms out there. But numbered cards like this, there might be one or two PSA 10s and they might be listed really high, and you come and you put your SGC for half what they're listed for. Let's say they're listed for $1,300-1,400, and you come and put yours up for 1,000 best offer, and somebody offers you $600-700, and you just double your money easily. And that's what you could do, especially I think SGC with rare cards, you can do that. I think with base cards and cards that there's so many PSA 10s of, it's a little bit harder to get that off because, again, there's always going to be a PSA 10 that they could buy and people are going to be undercutting each other and whatnot. I think this was an excellent pickup. SGC 10 courtside silver. If you know the multipliers, I got this for a really cheap price. I got this for $428. His base prism silver goes for almost $400. I think it's like between $350 and $400 you get his base prism silver. And courtside silvers generally do around 3 to 4x the prism silvers. So these are way more rare than the prism silvers, and they're more sought after. So these generally, Luka's is like 4 times the value. I think like Ja is like 3.5, Zion is like 3.5. Some of them are 3. It's between 3 and 4 normally. So if that's the case, this as a PSA 10 should be somewhere between 1,000 and like $1,200, $1,000 and $1,600. That is a wide range, and the only PSA 10s, they're all listed for well over 2K, like 2.5K. So all the buy it nows are like 2,400, 2,500. So I got this for 426. So I really valued the PSA 10 version of this somewhere around 13, 1400. And if you're talking about, I think it should be 60% of 13, 1400. I know it's a lot of math. Probably some people are getting lost. So this, even as an SGC card, I think should be $700, $800. If you say, and again, when a card is more rare, all the buy it nows are 2,400, 2,500. All I know is one of those to sell for around 15, 18. Who knows what they can sell for, especially as the season approaches. One of those to sell, and then the comp of this, again, no PSA 10s have sold and no SGC 10s have sold before this one. But again, when you know the multipliers, it's a lot easier for you to know how much a card should go for. So I already knew I placed a value of this around $700, $800 as an SGC 10. As a PSA 10, I'm more like 12 to 1400. I think is the value of a PSA 10 version of this. So I valued this around $700, $800. I was able to get it for $428, and I placed a value around $700 to $800 on this card. And again, if I get one of those PSA 10s to sell for a lot of money, now there's a big comp. And then if the PSA 10 sold for $1,800, now this one's at least over $1,000, and I only paid $428. And that's the thing, when you go after some of these rare cards on PSAs, and you can find the SGC 10 equivalents, you're able to, finagle your way into a lot of money. But again, I think this is undervalued. This card should have been, again, none has sold, so people don't know the comp, so they're scared to. But if you know the multipliers on how to convert court sides from prism silvers to court sides, then it's easy for you to come up with what the card should be selling for. Now we're gonna get into a couple. Oh yeah, I said that was the only football. That's a lie, because I got into a little bit. This was like a couple of weeks ago. It's like 3 weeks ago. So I was like, I just started looking at Deshaun Watson cards again. They were so cheap. So I just started picking them up, and after I picked them up, I kind of felt, I was like, damn, I shouldn't have picked them up, because now if he gets suspended, his prices are probably going to go down, and I got to hold them for a year. And I was like, and then they let him come to camp, and his prices went up. So things sometimes work out even when you don't make all the best decisions. Again, I picked this red, white, and blue up for $43. This raw sells for like 100 or more. So again, this is one I'll probably look to crack out and probably sell it raw. I'll look at the condition, because it looks pretty clean. And I do know that CSG is a tough grader, so this probably would have been like point off of a 9.5. It's probably a card you could get a 10 on. I have to look it over. But again, even I'll crack it out of this case, and it'll sell better raw. Yeah, it'll probably go for around over $100 raw. So easy. I only paid $43 for that. Similar to this one, this was a 9 of mint grading, and I know that they're pretty tough. This is not easy grade. I think I was watching videos of one guy who used to cross over these into BGS, and they were pretty accurate. Sometimes they were actually more strict than BGS. So again, this is probably a good candidate to probably not to get a 10 just because of the centering, but maybe a 9.5 in BGS. But it's probably a card I'll crack out. I paid, what did I pay for this? $61. Again, this goes for well over $100 as raw. So card you'll crack out. Look at all that shine on it. Again, easy money. But these cards did go up in price. But again, even as raw, they'll sell better than in this case. This is a Min Gem BGS 9.5. I paid $225 for this, and again, the card prices have gone up. I bought this like 3 weeks ago before it was announced that he was coming to camp, and he was actually gonna be at the camp, and that he might get traded, and all these rumors. If he gets traded, these cards are gonna go up. So that's probably what I'm waiting for. Hoping that he gets traded, and his prices will take a big jump. And then I picked up a PSA 8. And this is one of the mistakes I made. I thought this was a PSA 9. Again, I'm bidding on like 20 of his cards that same night, and I'm just putting in bids without really looking at the cards. Since I had it on my watch list, I thought it was a 9. Once I put cards on my watch list, I think they've already been vetted. So I sometimes don't look back through them, and I thought this was a PSA 9. I mean, I only wound up paying $76, which isn't that bad. I think I can get more than that right now, because the prices did go up. But again, I bid on it thinking it was a PSA 9. So I bid like $100-something, like a $150. Luckily, the second bidder didn't bid like up to $100, $120, or I would have been stuck paying $120 for a PSA 8. Luckily, they only bid me up to $76. So I'm pretty happy there. But again, this could have been disastrous. I could have paid up like $140 for a PSA 8, which that's what a PSA 9 was going for at that time. So again, still, even though I made a mistake, it's not going to cost me really any money. But again, you got to be careful when you're putting bids and make sure you're bidding on the card you think you're bidding on. I thought I was bidding on a PSA 9. I was actually bidding on a PSA 8, and it was just my mistake. It wasn't like they had the listing wrong. It was just me making a mistake. This is a PSA 10, the Prism Silver. This one I picked it up for $415. They're going for upwards of $650, $650 to $700 right now. Picked it up for its $415, and again, it's already going up just about that news that he was gonna be at the team's facilities, that he might not get suspended. All this news is coming out, and again, that he also might get traded. So his card's already starting to pick up price. If he does get traded, this could probably be close to $1,000 card. Pay for it, $15 for it. So getting lucky there with Deshaun Watson, because after I bought those, to be honest with you, I was like, I shouldn't have bought them. I could have spent my money better elsewhere, probably picking up basketball. And Watson, he probably gets suspended, this, that, and then, you get lucky sometimes. It's Colin Sexton. I think I picked one up for like 40, one for 60. I was bidding on them both on the same one. One went for way lower than the other one. But on average, I averaged them out to $54. I got two of these. PSA 10 optics, and again, he's in a lot of trade rumors. There was, obviously the Lakers already traded for Westbrook, but he was in rumors for the Lakers. He was also in rumors for the Knicks. So hopefully he gets traded to the Knicks. His cards will take a big jump if he does get traded to the Knicks. It's a PSA 10 optic base is $54. I think that's really cheap, again, with the cost of grading now. So also picked up an optic PSA 10 pink velocity. I picked this up for $281. This is numbered to 79, 12 of 79. Beautiful. I love the velocities. I have the Darius Garland PSA 9 of this. I want to get a black velocity for the Darius Garland, but they're none on eBay currently. And this is a big one right here. And again, this is what I'm telling you guys about the multiplier. When you know the multipliers, none of these have sold recently. And I picked this up at auction for almost everything here. I picked up at auction, pretty much everything here. I picked this up for $740. When you know the multipliers, like I told you guys, a Prism Silver to courtside silver is usually 3 to 4x. His Prism Silver goes for almost $800. And this one I picked it up for $740. So less than 2x of a player whose cards I think are going to take a big jump all across the board. I think his Prism Silver probably going to go up to $500. If his silver goes for $500, this one's worth between $1,500 to $2,000. What did I pick this up for? $740. So less than half of what the potential I think this has going into the season. I think even if it doesn't get traded, whatever, his silver will get up to $500. I mean, Darius Garland's was up to $500. I think his silver was at one point was more than $500. So again, the multiplier should be 3 to 4. I got this for under a 2 multiplier of a card that I think is ascending anyway. So I just think this was an easy deal. I think I got it for 50% off what it really should go for. Not right now. I think right now it probably should go for around $1,200. But I think in the beginning of the season should be a $1,500 card. But I think this right now is like a $1,100, $1,200 card that I picked up for $740 based off the multipliers. Now we're going to get into some of the PC-ish type pickups. I hate to say PC, but here's the kind of my investment PC guy I have the most cards of. Darius Garland. Picked up his NBA debut silver. $41. I didn't have the silver version of this one. Got I think a number to 10 debut that I have coming back in a later submission that I'm really hoping I get a 10 on. We got the Disco Hollow. I bid on the 10 of this. The seller had a 10 of this as well, but I was outbid on it. I was really wanting to get the 10 version of this as well. Again, $26 I picked this up for, so cheap. Again, less than the cost of grading. Then we get the Choice PSA 10. I love the Choice. Honestly, they're lower pop, and I think they're more beautiful than the Hollows, even though the Hollows sell for more than these. I think I picked this up for $106, which I think is weird because these are way more rare and I think more beautiful with the Mojo effect. I mean, you guys just tell me. I think the Choices are better looking, and they're rare cards. So now we're going to get to our second mistake here. I overpaid for this card right here. This is a blue mosaic to 99. I love blue, so I really was chasing this card, but I thought this was a 10 when I was bidding on it. Again, I'm bidding on that, 20, 30 cards at the same time, and I'm just going through my watch list and bidding on cards, and I thought I was bidding on a 10. And come to find out, when I didn't even know until I got the card in, I'm like, oh shit, this was a 9. I paid $120 for this card. It was like $119, but $120. And I think as a PSA 10, I would value this card like around $200 some. So again, this really should have been for like $70, $80 the most. And I bid on it strong, like it was a PSA 10. So again, luckily the person only bid me up to 120. They could have bid me up to more because maybe somebody was out there making the same mistake, or maybe somebody was really chasing this parallel for their collection or something. I don't know, but I thought this was a 10, and I think I bid pretty strong, almost up to $200. Luckily, the second bidder only bid up to like 119 or something like that, so I was able to get it for 120. But again, a mistake not looking at the listing again after I already had it on my watch list. I probably put it there for a 9 and I wanted the 9, but then when I was going to put in the bids a day or two later, I just assumed that this was a 10 and bid on it like it was a 10 and it was actually a 9. So again, this is the only one that it actually cost me that I probably overpaid for this card at least $40. But again, it's Darius Garland. His stuff I think is going to go up anyway, so I'm not too strong on it because I think his stuff is just going to boom, blow up. So I'm not too big on it. But now this is a card I've been chasing for a long time. Hindsight 2020, I probably should have picked these up when they were going for like a low hundreds raw, and I would have probably already had them back from PSA. Maybe some of them would have graded a 10. I love blue. Blue's my favorite color. This one's numbered to 199. I have 3 of the red ones that's numbered to 299. That goes more with his uniform. But again, favorite color is blue. I picked this up for 178, which is pretty good because again, blue is still a wanted parallel. 199. Yeah, I think it's one of the strongest parallels, even though it's not a color match. It is one of the more sought after color. I think it's a lot of people's favorite color. That's probably why. But yeah, the blue to 178 for this pretty fair price. I think it's around. I think I valued this card around $200, so I didn't get a great deal on it. But I mean, $178. I mean, this is more of a PC and a guy who I think his stuff is gonna go up a lot. But the other stuff like the Colin Sexton, I think those are just, since there aren't comps, a lot of people aren't comfortable playing certain prices and they don't know the multipliers all that well. So whenever you know multipliers and there's no comps, you can just put, what things should be selling for. You can put strong offers and get stuff for really cheap. So yeah, there's another one actually of those ending pretty soon. I'm going to put another strong offer on because I just think they're undervalued for what they're going for, especially with the comp that I just put out there. I'm going to at least bid what I bid on that one and see what happens. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Guys have any questions, leave them down below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, make sure to like the video. Till next time, guys.